Hi, my name is Jennifer Cooper from JKC Mobile Notary, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm really excited to talk to you Californians who want to become notaries. I'm going to walk you through the steps you need to take and the requirements you have to meet to become a notary in California, and I can't wait to tell you about it. So if this is something you're into and you want to learn more, let's go, because if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. Okay, you want to be a notary and you are a legal resident of California, you are one step closer to making that a reality. I want to talk about some of the things you need to expect as you're going on this journey, because they can be confusing sometimes and sometimes might seem overly complicated, but they're really not. So first, I'm going to tell you the requirements of you to be a California notary. You have to be 18 years of age or older. It doesn't matter how old, as long as you're older than 18. You must be a legal resident of California. You have to complete a course of study approved by the Secretary of State. You need to satisfactorily complete and pass a written exam prescribed by the Secretary of State. And you need to clear a background check. So those are the requirements that you need to meet. Now, I'm going to give you this step by step, but you can find all of this on the California Secretary of State website for notaries. I will link all of that below if you want to dig down deeper. I just want to give you a quick overview because I love being a notary. And I think that if this is something you want to do and be a part of this amazing community, I want to help get you there. So there's that. You need to complete approved education. So here's the thing. The Secretary of State has approved people that can teach you. It's a 6-hour course for new notaries that you are going to learn. Really, basically, you're going to learn about the laws and rules that you have to work within and how to avoid getting fined or going to jail. Don't let me scare you. Every job you do has consequences if you do it wrong, the same as this. But this is a commissioned position. You are being commissioned by the Secretary of State. You are a representative of that department. There are things that you're going to have to do right. These courses are not going to really teach you how to be a notary, and we're going to get into that a little bit. But there are lots of courses on their approved vendor list. I'm going to really point at one during this video because there's one I really believe in strongly as one of the best things for notaries, and it's a great membership to have and be a part of. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But you need to complete the approved education. It's 6 hours for new notaries. It's 3 hours for renewing notaries. You guys don't need that. If you're already a notary, you know that. And again, there's a list of approved courses on the Secretary of State's website. However, I would like to talk to you about the NNA, which is the National Notary Association. The NNA is I won't say a foundation, but an organization that trains notaries and loan signing agents for every single state in America. The coolest thing about them is they're also a resource for people to find you when you finally get commissioned, kind of like a phone book, right, for notaries. But what I love about them for new notaries is, now it's gonna be a little bit more expensive to do it this way, but I say a little bit. Because to become a notary, there's a lot of things you've got to take care of. There's a lot of things that you have to handle. There's insurances that are required, bonds that are required, your supplies are required. So without getting into all of that, what the NNA will do for you, it's an approved educator for the Secretary of State. So you can schedule your class online or in person. You can take your test. They will proctor it. You can get you can pay for your live scan and get your live scan and background check taken care of at your test. Or if you're doing it online, you can go to an approved live scan operator. You can get all of your initial supplies, your journal, your stamps, things like that. Your $15,000 bond, which is the requirement for California, you can get through their packages. You can also through their packages get a $25,000, or I think, or maybe less E&O insurance, which is errors and omissions, which you will need as a notary and a loan signing agent if you decide to do that. So it's a great resource because it's a one-stop shop, and you can get your extra notarization forms that you need that are California compliant. California will be the hardest place with the most rules to be a notary because California has the most rules for everything. So just keep that in mind. So the NNA, that information is going to be down below. Okay, so register for your exam, which you'll do through the NNA if that's what the route you decide to go, and then take your exam. And then submit live scan prints, which would happen at your exam if you're doing it live, and then you might have to do it separately if you're doing it online. I don't think you can take your final exam online. I think you have to take that in person. So the exam is not an option. The training, the 6-hour course, you can do online. So once you do your live scan, once you take your test, then you're just waiting for your results. That can take a little while. It took a lot longer in the middle of COVID, but now it's taking you anywhere between a month to 2 months to get your commission back. But there are things you can do while you're waiting. So here's a couple things that you can do. Find notary networks to join that are in your community and keep learning. Now, I said it earlier, the training you're taking, the 6-hour training, is not going to teach you how to be a notary. It's going to teach you how not to get in trouble or break the law. You need to learn how to be a notary, and there are amazing resources available to you. Some cost money, some are free, but make this time while you're waiting to find out if you passed your test to start getting plugged into the community. It's a great time to do that. So when I say notary networks, look for notary networks that are in your community on Facebook. I have a notary group that is specific to the Central Valley of California. You would have to live in specific counties that we consider Central California to be a part of this group. The whole purpose of my group is that we meet up on a regular basis, and that's hard to do if you live 3 hours away. So within your community or your county or neighboring counties that you're willing to drive to, look for notary communities on Facebook, because they can be a great way to kind of get into the community itself. Discover what further education you want to dive into. Investing in quality notary training is one of the best investments into yourself and to your business that you can make. And I have some favorites. I'll list them below. Also, in the coming weeks, I will have available a resource page that has discounts to different training options, bookkeeping for notaries, and different training platforms. If it's something that you're interested in, it'll be here in a couple weeks. More information to come. And then purchase your notary materials. If you did not get them through your platform that you did your training in, this would be a time to get them. So you can't get your stamp until you get commissioned. The Secretary of State will send you a letter or two that gives you permission to get a stamp and who to order those from. Again, if you go through the NNA, you get stamps through the NNA, and they will insure them for the entire 4 years of your commission. And so there's that. So I'm going to give you this list, but if you went through the NNA, you probably won't need all that to buy this stuff in extra. But you need a journal, a notary journal. You need a stamp, which you have to wait for until you get the letter from the Secretary of State. You need thumbprint ink. You need pens. You need acknowledgement forms and jurat forms. When you pass your test and you get your commission in the mail, you're going to have to file your oath and bond. So you've got your bond. We didn't talk a lot about that, but you have a $15,000 bond, and you can get that through the NNA. I've never looked for it outside of that, so I can't tell you where else you can get the bond, but $15,000 bond and your E&O insurance. You're going to go to your county clerk. You're going to file your oath and bond. They're going to take an oath from you. They're going to stamp it and give it back to you. And you have to do that within 30 days of being commissioned. So, I mean, I hope those steps make sense. Let's just go over them briefly because I don't want to get you guys too confused. So here's the steps. To be a notary, you have to be 18 years of age or older, be a legal California resident, complete a course of study approved by the Secretary of State, and satisfactorily complete and pass a written exam prescribed by the Secretary of State and clear a background check. Okay? If you don't fall within that, and there are other things on their list of what will disqualify you, I would go to the website if you have any concerns about legal history. Complete approved education, register for your exam, take your final exam, submit your live scan fingerprints, wait for your results. Do some things while you're waiting, purchase your notary materials, and when you get commissioned and you've passed the test, file your oath and bond, and you are a new notary. So there are some steps to take. It does sound complicated. That test can be difficult if you're not knowing what they're going to be looking for. And I'm telling you right now, it's laws and rules and fines. So study hard on that. And you can always retake it if you don't pass it. But those are the steps that you're going to take to be a California notary. So this is an exciting opportunity. It does require work. If you're looking for the quickest way to be a six-figure earner, this is not it. It could have been it 2 years ago during COVID when interest rates were rock bottom and you wanted to be a loan signing agent, which, by the way, when you become a notary, you cannot just be a loan signing agent. You have to take training and get certified to do that. And then you can also be a loan signing notary, a notary loan signing agent. But so you're going to have to work at like any other business. But notaries have been used in societies for hundreds upon hundreds of years. It's a solid business investment, but you'll have to put some work into it. Again, your commission package will come with 1 or 2 letters from the Secretary of State to get stamps. I'm going to really suggest if you go through the NNA, you're going to get 1 stamp free. Buy a second, smaller stamp. Having 2 stamps in your bag is a lifesaver. One, if one runs out of ink or messes up, you have another. But also, on different pages that you notarize, sometimes there's big enough space for the big stamp and sometimes there's not, and you need a smaller stamp. So I would encourage you to buy 2. Either way, if you guys have any questions outside of this that you can't find an answer for on the Secretary of State website, or you just want to ask me, I'm willing to answer anything you ask. And in the meantime, I'm excited for you if you're taking this journey. I can't wait for you to join our community. And I think that's all I have. So if you're good, great. If you have questions, ask them. Leave a comment in the comments below. And until next week, take care of yourself and go out and get commissioned to be a new California notary. See you later.